Greetings. Welcome back to Beaver Branch Disc Golf Adventures. I'm Brian Morris, a member of Team Trilogy and a member of the Trilogy Talk team. Today we're going to look at the Culprit, which is a new upshot disc by Dynamic Discs. We're going to look at two different plastics for the Culprit. We're going to look at the new Prime Moonshine with the skull and crossbones stamp. This is also Moonshine, glow in the dark. And we're going to compare it to the hybrid. Now this is a premium hybrid plastic. We're going to compare it to the Clementine, Chris Clemens. I got both of those at Trilogy Talk. So you can go to Trilogy Talk and find both those discs at the moment. A little bit later in the comparison, I want to toss in the hybrid baseline Anvil by Westside Discs. Okay, here we go. On the left, we have the premium hybrid plastic Culprit, and on the right, we have the Prime Moonshine. Prime Moonshine is notably flatter as a lot of the Prime mid-ranges come. Here's a look at them on the back. You see it has a micro bead, I would call that, and a little bit thicker rim at the top there. Here it is in comparison to the Anvil. This is the hybrid baseline plastic Anvil, and on the right you have the Moonshine Culprit. You can see pretty similar, a little bit slimmer profile on the Anvil in comparison. And here they are stacked to get a look at that. And here is some comparison shots. We're throwing the hybrid here first on a hyzer release. That basket is about 230 feet away. And I really got into like a spiky hyzer here. So I tried to throw the Prime pretty much on the exact same spike line just to keep it consistent. I didn't really want to throw that big of a hyzer, but that's fine. They both flew pretty close to the same line. Here we are on a flat release, going with the hybrid first, trying to get it to go flat. And it is a very overstable disc, so it is hard to flatten. Here is the Prime, and pretty much the same result, same stability. And as we look at where the disc landed here, the Prime in both cases, this is the hyzer shot, landed earlier, like 10 to 12 feet earlier. Possibly indicating maybe a little bit less glide than that hybrid premium plastic. Here we are on some anhyzer releases. I feel like this is where you really get to see some of the stability with the disc, going with the hybrid first, trying to yank it over, and you can see the stability there as it comes back. Here is the Prime on the same release, and basically the same result. I wasn't done there. I decided I wanted to try to really get it over even more. So I go back to the hybrid, get a little bit more turned over, but same result, still fights back, fades back, very stable disc. And there you see the Prime. These all had comparable results as well. They landed within, I'd say, 25 feet of each other. The second one you're looking at there was the second one where I tried to turn it over a little bit more. Now we're going to add our special guest, the Anvil. First here we are going to throw the Prime Moonshine on a flat release. Just trying to put some oomph into it and see where that goes. Second shot is going to be the Anvil. And you can see the Anvil, if you watch closely, definitely has that 4 fade. They did a really good job with the numbers here, in that they're saying that the Culprit is a 3.5 and the Anvil is a 4. I would definitely agree with that. Here we are, an Anheuser release with the Culprit. Got a nice big S curve out of that one. And up next is going to be the Anvil with the Anheuser release. And you can see it is even more resistant because it has that little bit more stability. I was happy with where the disc landed as far as keeping a consistent throw. The Anheuser flex line is definitely further out here. And now we're going to look at some forehands. So I am not the forehand guru. I can throw the forehand as necessary. And here we are on the flat release with the Prime Moonshine Culprit. And this is a flat release with, or at least a similar release with the Anvil. A little bit jittery here, a little nervous throwing forehands for the camera. And here is a chop Anheuser shot. First one here with the Moonshine Culprit. And maybe I got that one over a little bit more, but you can still see the stability of the disc as it did fade back. And here comes the Anheuser chop with the Anvil. And you see it fights back. It's definitely the Anheuser chop disc of choice. Here you see where they landed. And we're going to go back to me for some final thoughts. All right, final thoughts here on the Culprit. The Culprit is definitely a little bit less stable than the Anvil. Similar slim profile here. The hybrid in the premium plastic definitely has a little bit more dome, or a lot more dome, than the flatter Prime Moonshine. Again, I think that people would prefer the Prime Moonshine for the grip for forehands as well as the flatter top. This I could see is more of a stable upshot from the backhand point. And again, in comparison to that hybrid Anvil, the Anvil's a little bit more stable. So if you're more of a chopper on your forehand, the Anvil is probably going to be the way to stay. But time will tell. I'm going to keep doing some field work with this and see if it'll replace the Anvil. That's all for this review comparison. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.